With 7 out of 10 U.S. households owning a pet, there's a good chance you'll have a furry friend at some point in your life. But pet ownership comes with serious lifetime responsibility. Are you ready to make that commitment? In this video, we'll explore the rewarding world of pet ownership and the alarming issues of abandoned and neglected pets. Keep watching to learn how you can make a difference and the things that you need to know before becoming a pet owner. This is Cookie, and she was one of those free Facebook dogs, and she's been a great dog so far. You'll see more of her later. Now, I am an animal lover, and I've had dogs and cats my entire life. Most of them were strays that just showed up, and we took them in. Animal dumping is a very real problem, especially in the country. Now, the first dog I want to share with you is Buster. He was really my very first dog that I could call my own. I was in 3rd grade, and I would see him hanging around the school for a few weeks when we went out at recess. He was friendly, and I just assumed he was a neighborhood dog. Then one day, me and my friends were playing on my street after school, and there he was. Now, our neighborhood was about 2 miles away from the school, so I was really surprised to see him on our street. I ran home and I told my mom and dad about how I had seen him at school and asked if we could keep him. It took a lot of persuasion by an 8-year-old, but they reluctantly agreed. Buster enjoyed a pretty good long life with us. We would play and kickball in the backyard, which was his favorite, and he just had a great time. Now, we assumed he lived to be about 11 or 12 years old when he passed from kidney failure. He was my dog and friend all the way through high school. Now, I was 17 when he passed, so we had him for 10 great years. And I often wonder what my life and his would have been like if we had not taken him in that day. Now, my second dog I want to share with you is Fred. Life moved on and I got married. We didn't have any dogs, and one day a friendly Catahoula showed up at our house. He stayed around for a few days, so we put out food and water. He decided this is where he needed to be, and we had a new dog. This is Fred. And Fred was a great dog. He loved to run and he enjoyed country living. We assumed he was maybe 2 years old when he showed up. Fred moved with us to 2 or 3 cities, and he got to be a part of both of my kids' lives. Now, we had Fred for over 11 years before hip and back problems got the best of him, and we had to make that hard decision to say goodbye. That was so hard to make that decision to say goodbye to your best friend and companion who was such a huge part of your life, but the memories are great. Now, story number 3 is Pepper. After Fred, we had some other dogs that were strays, and one dachshund that we actually got from some friends. But for the sake of time, I will just talk about the ones we rescued. That leads me to another Catahoula named Pepper. It was a little over 2 years since we had lost Fred, and I was driving to work when I noticed a Catahoula-looking dog lying down under a tree by the side of the road. Now, this was a very isolated country road in the middle of nowhere, and this dog got my attention because the colors reminded me of Fred. Now, when I came home that afternoon, the dog was in the exact same spot. It appeared to not have moved at all that entire day. I went home and thought about it, got some food and water, and I said, if that dog is still there, I'm bringing it home. And when I got there, she was very leery and scared of us when we first approached. But I picked her up and I brought her home, and she was a fully grown, pretty good-sized dog. Now, we named her Pepper because of her coloring, and she went on to live her life with us. Now, Pepper was an unforgettable dog. She loved to run, and she was very fast. And we had Pepper for about 12 years. And she was very timid and probably been abused earlier on. But in her later years, she really lived her best life. We took her to the beach, we took her on camping trips, and she just loved being there and enjoying all the sights and sounds. Now, similar to Fred, old age caught up to her too, and she couldn't stand or walk anymore, and she quit eating. We had to make that tough decision again to let her go peacefully, and that was so hard. Now, I have so many other great pet stories I could fill this entire video with, but let's get to the point. Pet ownership is a lifetime commitment. Abandoned and neglected pets are a huge problem that has not gone away. Now, Gen Z, you guys I know really care about causes and purposes. I challenge you to make a difference in this pet problem. Too many people get a dog or a cat or other pet because they think they're cute and that's what they want right then. But they don't think about the long term and they don't make the lifetime commitment. I really don't think we even deserve pets. They depend on us for everything, and too many times we treat them like a disposable thing or even worse. Now, can you answer yes to this one simple question to see if you're ready for pet ownership? Are you committed to taking care of training and loving this pet for its entire life? Now, that life is short, maybe 14 years if you're lucky, and maybe longer, but some are much too short. Now, that means you have to think about what your life will be like the next 12 to 20 years and what it'll look like with this dog or pet, cat in the picture. Kids, housing, finances, time. Don't throw away your pet because you don't have time for them anymore. Don't throw away your pet because of a new baby. Don't throw away your pet because you have to move and the new place doesn't accept pets. Don't throw away your pet just because you got tired of it. If you can't answer yes to that question, then you should not get a pet. Go volunteer at a shelter or rescue, maybe foster pets for them until they can find a new home. Now, if you are committed and you answered yes to that lifetime commitment, here's some things you need to do. The first one is to adopt. There are so many great pets in shelters that need you to love them. You would be surprised about the great dogs and cats that are in there waiting. Now, second one is to consider an older pet. Puppies and kittens are hard, especially puppies. They will tear your stuff up. They will pee and poop on your floor or sometimes your bed. It takes time and commitment to get past all those early struggles. Older pets are past that. They just want you to love them, feed them, play with them, and give them a second chance to live out the life they deserve. Now, the third thing is to spay and neuter. Now, I grew up watching The Price is Right with Bob Barker, and every show that he closed out with this statement.
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
Did you know that dogs and cats can start having puppies and kittens at the age of 6 to 9 months old? Yes, that early they can start having babies. This is what causes pet overpopulation when unwanted or unplanned babies arrive. This is a must for you as a responsible pet owner to spay and neuter. Now, the fourth thing is you've got to make them a part of your family. Don't get a pet if you don't have time for them. Don't leave them chained up or locked in the backyard and only put food and water out for them. They need and want your love and attention. They are social creatures and they're not meant to be alone. Now, the fifth thing is to train them. Training not only makes it better for you, but it makes it better for them. So if something does happen, they have a chance at a future life. Now, the sixth thing is to take good care of them. Good food, vet visits, do the right thing when the time comes. And the seventh one, I'm going to say it again, is it's a lifetime commitment. I want to reinforce that over and over again. I've always told my kids when they ask for a pet, and I hold that true for myself, are you willing to keep and love this pet for its life? The eighth point is to get involved. Support local rescues and shelters. Volunteer your time, donate goods, food, or money, and help spread the word. There's over 14,000 rescues and shelters around the country trying to make a difference. Now, we have to do better. The statistics I shared at the start are alarming. Now, I love this quote. How you treat animals tells me all I need to know about you. You can make a difference, will you? Now, to see if you can afford a pet, use this cost of living calculator and budgeting tool found here. Thanks for watching, and go make a difference.